Deep in the hills of West Virginia, shrouded in mist and chilling silence, stands a place no one dares enter after dark. Once a sanctuary for the mentally ill, it became a prison of suffering, death, and unspeakable horrors. They call it the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. The asylum opened its doors in 1864, a grand promise of hope meant to be a haven for those society deemed unfit. But that promise quickly soured. Overcrowding, dwindling funds, and questionable treatments turned this would-be sanctuary into a living nightmare. Picture it: endless, echoing hallways filled with pale, silent patients, doors locked from the outside, beds lined with those too weak or too ill to ever leave. Doctors, desperate for a cure, experimented with early brutal forms of lobotomies, insulin comas, and electroshock therapy. It's whispered that some patients never woke up from these so-called treatments. Their screams, they say, still echo through the hallways on the darkest nights. There are stories that the staff would never speak of, secrets buried deep within the asylum's crumbling walls. One patient, known only as Eleanor, would wander the East Wing at night, whispering the names of the dead. After she passed away, visitors reported hearing her disembodied voice, crying and calling out from the shadows. Then there was Thomas, a patient who simply vanished without a trace from Ward C. To this day, people say his shadow drifts near the isolation cells, leaving an icy chill on anyone who dares to pass by. And perhaps most tragically, there was Mary, a nurse who, after years of tending to the dying, reportedly took her own life. Some claim to see her spectral figure roaming the halls, dragging her feet, forever muttering, "I can't leave them. I can't leave." The asylum was a labyrinth of despair, with separate wings for men, women, and the criminally insane. But the most feared areas were the isolation rooms, reserved for the most troubled patients. Visitors claim that if you stand in one of those cells for too long, the walls themselves seem to breathe, and faint whispers echo your own name back at you. One patient, nicknamed Jack the Liar, was said to converse with shadows. The night he died, his screams filled the entire ward. Ever since, guards and paranormal investigators have reported hearing strange tapping on the walls and the unmistakable sound of chains dragging in the dead of night. Beneath the main building lies the morgue, reached by a long, narrow tunnel known as the body chute. Down this chute, bodies were rolled away in silence, many of them unclaimed by families, forgotten by the world. Paranormal investigators believe the body chute is a hotbed of spiritual energy, a place where restless spirits remain trapped. They report hearing the scraping of old gurneys, whispers of forgotten names, and even the faint, heartbreaking sound of crying babies. One legend tells of a caretaker who vanished in the tunnel. To this day, visitors claim to hear his voice screaming for help when they walk through alone, and some have even felt the chilling brush of cold, unseen hands against their skin. But it wasn't just the patients who left their mark. Even the doctors and nurses left behind a legacy of torment. Dr. Patrick Mullen, the chief surgeon, ended his own life in his office after years of failed, agonizing treatments. Visitors to that room report the distinct, acrid smell of cyanide, even decades later. Lights flicker on and off, and a faint whisper floats through the air. "You won't feel a thing." Nurses who died within the asylum are also rumored to appear in ghostly forms, forever tending to invisible patients or calling out to the lost souls still wandering the halls. It is said that any staff who entered the asylum at night never returned quite the same. They'd leave haunted, whispering to themselves, staring into empty corners where they swore someone stood just a moment before. Since the asylum finally closed its doors in 1994, it has become a magnet for ghost hunters and thrill seekers, all looking for proof of the afterlife, and many find it. EMF meters spike erratically in Ward D. Objects move on their own, beds, chairs, and doors creaking open and slamming shut. Shadow figures are frequently seen roaming the East Wing, and cameras have captured chilling apparitions in the long, dark corridors. One famous investigation captured footage of a tall, dark figure standing near the chapel altar at 2:17 a.m., silently watching the cameraman as he slept. Others swear they've felt the distinct pressure of unseen hands gripping their shoulders, only to turn around and find no one there. The town of Weston itself whispers stories that go far beyond any rational explanation. Some locals claim the asylum was built on cursed land, a former site for plague victims and unmarked graves. Even during its construction, workers reported tools vanishing into thin air, scaffolds collapsing for no reason, and disembodied voices calling their names. 3 men died during the construction, long before the first patient ever set foot inside. One chilling rumor persists. If you stand in the East Wing at exactly 3:03 a.m., the hour when most patients were said to have died, you will hear a woman's blood-curdling scream travel the length of the halls. Visitors who have tried to record it claim their devices mysteriously fail, and when they play the audio back, all they hear is a faint voice whispering their own name. So, would you dare spend a night inside? Those brave enough to have tried report terrifying phenomena. Sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature that leave you shivering in the dark. Screams that echo down empty corridors from seemingly nowhere. Ghostly shadows that appear in windows or drift along the ceilings. One visitor fainted near the hydrotherapy room, later claiming she saw a woman with no eyes whispering, "It's time to bathe." Even the security guards admit to avoiding certain wings. One guard told a story of his flashlight flickering, then going completely out. As he stood in the pitch-black darkness, he heard a soft, chilling whisper right beside his ear. "Welcome back, doctor. They say the longer you stay inside, the more the asylum remembers you." And then there's the Tunnel of Souls, the dreaded body chute, where fear reaches its absolute peak. Those who venture into this subterranean passage report the sound of heavy chains dragging along the concrete floor, a gurney rolling by itself in the darkness, and the sound of sobbing that twists into manic, ghostly laughter. Laughter that some say follows them all the way home. Many who enter the tunnel never make it to the other end, turning back in sheer terror. It's believed the ghosts of thousands of patients still linger here, desperately searching for peace, or perhaps for someone new to join them. The Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is not just a collection of bricks and bones. It is a living record of human suffering, cruelty, and despair. Those who visit may see the shadows, hear the voices, and feel the touches that aren't of this world. And some, they say, never leave quite the same. So if you ever find yourself in Weston and the old asylum looms in the distance, remember this: the walls remember every name, every scream, and every soul, and they may just remember yours. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tales that will keep you up at night. Stay safe out there.